Hey there, welcome to Jackie Talks Horror. I'm Jackie, and today I'm taking a look at 5 hidden gem horror films with a running time of 90 minutes or less. As always, I'll be using the images and trailers from the movies and put links to the trailers in the description down below. I'll also keep this spoiler free, so it won't spoil any that you might like to watch. Now I find it hard to carve out 2 to 3 hours to watch film in one sitting, so anything over 2 hours usually gets split into 2, unless I'm at the cinema. Even then, the runtime can influence whether I see it in theatres or wait for it to come on streaming. So I wanted to put together a list of shorter horror films, then I looked at them and I thought I would highlight the ones that need a little more love. And these picks are going to be in release date order rather than ranked. So first up is Late Mungo from 2008, with a running time of 87 minutes. I really enjoyed this film, despite knowing the basic premise and what I thought was a plot twist, but I still couldn't look away. And it has some surprises for me. It's a subtle slow burn horror that leans into grief and atmosphere rather than jump scares, so if you're expecting traditional horror it might feel a little too quiet at times, but for those who appreciate tension and mood, it's incredibly effective. It's a faux documentary style horror that follows a family after the daughter is found dead in a lake. The acting was pretty good and came over as natural. You really feel like you're seeing family and friends deep in their loss and grief, searching for answers in the best way each of them know how, and the story really kept me interested, as every now and then you get another piece of the puzzle. Each time it makes you look at the things that have gone on before in a different light. There are some plot threads that don't go anywhere, and it's definitely low budget, but this film has plenty of atmosphere, and it doesn't rely on jump scares, just a chilling and unique premise. If you like slow burn psychological horror films with a hint of whodunit, and you haven't seen Late Mungo, you should definitely have it on your watch list. It probably won't scare you, but you'll be thinking about it for a while afterwards. Next up is Creep from 2014, with a runtime of 77 minutes. I first watched this a while back, and I can't believe it's not talked about more. It more than lives up to its name, and it was surprising at how effective this film is. It's co-written by its co-stars Patrick Bryce and Michael Duplass, and Bryce also directed it, so it was definitely a passion project for the two. They filmed it in a week, with most of the dialogue being improvised, as they only had a 5-page outline to work with. Creep follows photographer Aaron, played by Bryce, taking a job at a remote property to create a 24-hour diary for a client, Joseph, a cancer sufferer, played by Duplass, that Joseph wants to leave for his unborn son. You never know what to expect from one minute to the next in this film, and Duplass and Bryce play their roles so well, you really just lose yourself in it. The psychological tension is heightened by the claustrophobic setting and the uncanny, unpredictable behaviour of Joseph. Adding to the weight of the unsettling feeling here is a real-life experiences people have had with Craigslist. Now whilst we're talking about Creep, I also want to give an honourable mention here to its follow-up, Creep 2. It's shockingly good for a sequel. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as the first film, but I feel it deserves a quick mention here as well on this list, as it comes in at 78 minutes. I thought it was more humorous than the first and had a really engaging storyline. It also managed to feel fresh while keeping the unsettling atmosphere of the first. No spoilers, so I'm just going to say that they are a great double bill. So next up is the Autopsy of Jane Doe from 2016, with a running time of 86 minutes. The film stuck with me long after the credits finished, as did the soundtrack, in particular a certain song that played quite a lot during the film. And while watching it, I found myself feeling as anxious as the characters. The film follows a father, Tommy, played by Brian Cox, and his son, Austin, played by Emil Hirsch, who are morticians, and who at the last minute are asked to do an overnight autopsy on the body of a Jane Doe, played by Alwyn Kelly, that was found partly buried, but otherwise in mint condition, in the basement of a gruesome crime scene. The acting is phenomenal by all 3 of the leads. The characters are well written. Cox and Hirsch bring depth to the characters, making you care about them instantly, and right from the moment Jane Doe arrives, the film starts with attention and keeps it ramping up relentlessly, not letting it drop whilst they reveal the body's terrifying secrets with each layer of the autopsy. Despite how incredibly frightening this film is, Well, to me anyway. This is not a gory film, but is well paced and relies on atmosphere, clever storytelling and mounting dread, rather than excessive blood and violence. If you haven't seen it, you have to find where it's streaming and watch it. I wish they made more films as good as this these days. It's an absolute nerve shredder. Next up is Deadstream from 2022 with a runtime of 87 minutes. This was a fun film, more so in the first half, that manages to be moderately scary in the second. It definitely deserves far more attention, as it was overshadowed by Host and other pandemic-era found footage releases when it came out. The film was co-directed and co-written by the star Joseph Winter, and surprisingly, most of it was shot in just 7 days. Deadstream follows a disgraced streamer, Sean, played by Winter, who is trying to win back his followers by live streaming an overnight at a haunted house. Even crazier, he lets his viewers decide what he does, including whether or not he investigates creepy noises and the other things. And knowing the internet, you know this is a terrible idea. You see the comments coming in real time in the film, and you realise very quickly he's made a huge mistake. Winter plays Sean extremely well, showing his remorseful, respectful attitude at the beginning whilst he's in apology mode as he tries to rebuild his image. Then, as things in the house escalate, his interactions with his viewers shift, and you start to see the annoying entitled version of Sean that was probably the behaviour that got him cancelled in the first place. Sean's reactions to what's going on is hilarious as things get weird. Overall, it's an outrageously over-the-top found footage film. You can see the limited budget in some of the effects, but that adds to the charm, and it's perfect to have on at a Halloween party with friends and shout at the screen at the annoying protagonist. And finally, we have Double Blind from 2023, with a runtime of 90 minutes. This was one of the first movies I reviewed on this channel, so I have a special fondness for the film, and I really do think it deserves more attention. It's a solid horror thriller with tension and atmosphere. The film follows a group of people who've signed up for a trial. We mainly follow Claire, played by Millie Brady, Amir, played by Ashkay Kumar, and a few others under the care of Dr. Burke, played by Pollyanna McIntosh. As you might expect in horror, things start to go wrong, and the people in the trial need to figure out how to stay alive. The film has a great cast to do a decent job, but I would say for me, the main weakness in this film is the other characters don't get much development or screen time. Even so, the focus on these three works, because they were written and acted so well. It's a great film, and I loved how it stayed with me afterwards, thinking about the fact that there are many trials going on every day, and we've heard about some of them going wrong. So you can imagine putting yourself in the shoes of these cash-strapped young adults, putting their health and lives in the hands of a nameless company just to get some money. If you're into horror thrillers with a twist and plenty of atmosphere, Double Blind is one you shouldn't miss. It's tense, well acted, and will keep you thinking long after the credits roll. Okay, so that's all for this video. My 5 picks for hidden gem horror films coming in at 90 minutes or under. Was your favourite on there? Did I miss any? Did any of these stand out to you? Do leave your comments down below, but remember to be respectful. And remember, this is only my list of shorter hidden horror gem films. I would love to know what your list is. I'm sure it's different to mine, and it'd be a boring old world if we all like the same things. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss what's coming next on this channel. This is Jackie signing off. Take care and see you next time.